welcome back, guys. Thanks for coming. I've invited you into my backyard today because I have a story I want to tell you. Today's lesson is talking about fear, in particular topics of death and grief, things that typically might bring and arouse fear for most of us. When I think of fear, I think of this location in my backyard. We have up top here our sunroom, and below here is a nice kind of vacant spot for hiding some outdoor stuff. Now, it hasn't always looked this way. Several years ago, we had this lattice work was knocked down. It was laying on the ground, laying all whopper-jawed and cockeyed and different things. And one day I was out here working underneath there. Previous owner had stored some firewood underneath the deck here, and I decided I wanted to add it to my firewood pile on the other side here. And so I had that lattice work on the far side was not there. I had my wheelbarrow on the opposite side there, was piling the firewood from underneath here into that wheelbarrow, and was toting it over to the wood pile. When I got to the bottom, there was a wood pallet on the ground, and I lifted up that wood pallet to carry it out of here. And underneath the pallet was this kind of tightly compacted pile of shredded newspaper, looked like. And I thought, that is really odd. And so I kneeled over and I sort of nudged it. And then in about a half dozen places within the pile, up out of it, it almost started to vibrate like a horror movie. These insects about the size of my thumb start vibrating their way up out of this pile. They're black and yellow striped, and about that time I realized I had a nest of bumblebees. Well, in the next 7/10 of a second, I did three things. One, I dropped the pallet back onto the nest, for one, which only aggravated them all that much more. Second thing is I screamed, high-pitched like a child, and I'm running with my hands out in front of me through that vacant space around to the far side of the property here. As I was screaming on my way out of there, I let out some curse words that I haven't said in a really long time. And when I got to my final, got to the perimeter of the property here, I started looking. Didn't have any bees on me. I had apparently caught my watch as I almost put my hand through the glass window. It caught and scraped up and gouged up my forearm there, but I hadn't gotten stung. I did figure I had probably lost my Christian testimony with any of my neighbors, because whether you had your windows open or closed that day, you probably heard me screaming. Fear. Fear can cause us to do a number of odd things that were maybe out of character for us. I have, over the course of my life, been fearful of many things. Fear of failure, fear of not measuring up, fear of disappointing people, and in my attempt to escape the things that I was afraid of, I have done some things that have been out of character for me. I've lied. I've avoided conflict. I have tried to even avoid situations rather than try something and risk failing. Many times I've not even tried at all. We need to talk about fear. I hope that you've seen in your packet before you even came tonight or today, I don't know what time of the day you're doing this, this whole packet on fear. Scriptures, lots of them, dozens of scriptures on fear, and I'm hopeful that maybe those have ministered to you somehow. God has a lot to say about fear. We're going to talk about it together tonight. I hope that this will be a beneficial study for you. And I hope that you'll share how God's working in your life in that area. Thanks.